This video is going to be a little different from the regular stuff that gets posted here, so buckle up for a bit of story time. This isn't a guide by any stretch of the imagination, nor is it trashy clickbait, at least in my opinion. I just wanted to share my recent, almost surreal experience with trying to sell a GLAIVE Prime set. I don't know if some planet somewhere lined up in a cursed order, or it just wasn't my day. Trading has never ever been as troublesome for me as it was with the set of GLAIVE Prime parts, and some of the stuff that happened alongside it was too weird for me to explain. Maybe there's something here that I don't know about that you guys may be able to point out. So I was browsing the Warframe market site to look for stuff to sell so I could make up the platinum to just buy the remaining guns and parts that were getting a little frustrating to farm. I spotted a GLAIVE Prime blueprint buy offer for around 220 plats, which I thought was pretty high. Yeah, the GLAIVE Prime relics are vaulted and the weapon's pretty powerful, but 220 just for the blueprint I found was kinda expensive. Well, it turned out that the entire set was, and still is, going between 330 and 370 platinum. I checked my inventory and saw that I had all but one more blade part, which was in the Oxy E1 relic. I had a few of those, so I thought, why not do a Fisher run or two to hopefully get a full set to sell for potentially significantly more platinum. So I did a quick Oxy Fisher run, cracked the relic, and got the blade on the first go. Awesome. Couldn't have gone smoother, right? I then put up a sell offer on warframemarket.com for about 365 plats, I think, and just left the game running in the background and resumed other work. 10 minutes had gone before I got the first offer, I think. Some guy by the name of Tiger or something. Can't quite remember. He sent me a message in-game. I got to him almost immediately and asked for an invite, as you do, and waited for like a couple of minutes. Absolute silence from the other guy. Thinking he didn't quite understand, I then asked him, "Hey, is everything okay?" To which he replied, "Too late." Yeah, that's a direct quote, and I decided to leave the typo in there. I did actually get another buy offer in the midst of trying to communicate with the first guy. Since he kinda went silent, I told the new potential buyer that if the deal didn't go through, that he would be next in line and I'd let him know. The guy says cool, and we both waited. Of course, after I was told too late, I informed the new guy and we both decided to meet up at my dojo. I waited for him to load in and then opened up the trade console to find his name missing from the list of tradable players. In the past, I've had to deal with players who haven't had their two-factor authentication setting turned on, but that was like a couple of years ago at least. Pretty much everyone these days has their two-factor turned on before trading, as Warframe makes it pretty obvious and difficult to miss. So back to the new guy, I asked him if two-factor was enabled. He said he traded with his friend the day before and had no issues. I checked two-factor on my end, thinking it could be some weird account reset I triggered somehow, but everything was as it should be. I restarted the game and we met over at his dojo. Unfortunately, same problem, but I didn't show up on the trade list this time. So after about 10 minutes of trying, we gave up and I went back to my orbiter. The guy then asked if him being on Xbox was a problem, and then I realized that yeah, he wasn't on PC. Explained to him that cross-platform trading wasn't a thing yet. He apologized. I said no worries, we went our separate ways. This one was kinda on me, but I don't exactly know what the scenario was there. You don't go to Warframe Market as a console player because those are all PC players there. So I don't know, it was the first ever time I had to deal with something like this, but anyways. Another guy or gal came along and we met up over at my dojo. For some reason I decided to check this person's Warframe profile first, and they happened to be Mastery rank 9. I thought it was kinda odd that a relatively low MR player would be willing to spend close to 400 platinum on a single set of weapon parts, but whatever, right? Everything from initial communication to loading into the dojo went super smooth. I went to open up the trade console and put in the items, only to find that the blueprint was partner locked. I was not aware that the GLAIVE Prime had a Mastery rank 10 requirement, so I let the other person know and they suggested adding them to my friends list. Apparently that would help bypass the Mastery rank restriction. I didn't bother to check and I just sent a friend request their way. Waited for a couple of minutes, absolute silence. Again, asked them what was going on and they said nothing was received on their end, so I sent another request and let them know. Still nothing, and then the deal just kinda died off. Usually you'd want trades to go smooth and quick, no waiting for 10 or 15 minutes for the other person, unless if it's a highly valuable item, I suppose. So when the other person didn't seem to respond much, I just left the conversation and went about my day. Me being frustrated at how long this whole ordeal had gone so far without a sale, I decided to leave the computer for a bit, only to come back to player number 4 and their request, which I replied to but was already around 20 minutes too late. Didn't get a response, so I assumed they already bought what they wanted from another seller. Attempt number 5 at selling the GLAIVE Prime set. The guy from attempt number 3 actually came back to say hi. Literally, he typed in the word hi into chat. Without hesitation, I checked his profile first to see that he actually went and got himself leveled up to Mastery Rank 10. Kinda incredible. I quickly sent him an invite, went into the dojo, and immediately initiated trade without much chat. I just really wanted to get this deal done at that point. So I go to select the GLAIVE Prime parts, and in the middle of doing that, the guy leaves squad and goes offline. Just like that. I don't know how long it was after the last attempt, but another person did eventually come along. I made sure to check their profile first to see that by some twisted luck, they were a Mastery Rank 9 as well. Different player from the previous guy, of course, so I explained to them that the deal couldn't be done due to MR restrictions and kinda just sent them on their way. At this point, I was kind of questioning the entire sequence of scenarios. Told myself that I'm not going crazy and that the next attempt would surely go through. I mean, it's just a prime weapon set like any other. I've sold plenty of those before. Why are these Mastery Rank 9 players offering to buy them? Why can't I just get a Mastery Rank 20 something player with a good connection so we could just get the deal done without any hitches? Sure enough, another player comes along by the name Faded Favors. Now, they're not a Mastery Rank 20 plus, but 13 is good enough. Greater than 10, so fine by me. I asked them to send me an invite over to their dojo, waited for them to initiate the trade. I laid out the parts, which were 1 blueprint, 2 blades, and the disc. Then I just waited for what seemed like a solid minute or so. I don't know why, but it felt like the other player was staring at the parts for a bit as if inspecting their condition. I was like, dude, just show me the plats. Guess what happened? Guy cancels the trade and immediately leaves the dojo. As if I showed him counterfeit goods or something. What the actual... Maybe there is some sort of item duplication trick that I'm not aware of, or a prank to get at GLAIVE Prime sellers. I don't know. A good while back it was possible to duplicate items if you had a terrible connection and noped out at the right moment. I may or may not have accidentally duplicated a Vectis Riven with my good friend. It got patched a long time ago though, if I remember correctly. But yeah, my GLAIVE items are still with me, well, were still with me at that point since I had already left Warframe running for almost the entire day. I decided to take the offer down and just move on. Told the Discord peeps about the story yesterday and then managed to sell it to Kyle, my Discord mod, and everything went great. Apart from the fact that he started crashing a lot in Warframe out of nowhere shortly after the trade, so I don't know. Make of that what you will, guys. That GLAIVE Prime set could very well be cursed. Have any of you guys had a crazy or maybe even crazier experience than this one in Warframe? Maybe in some other game as well? If you'd be generous enough to share your experiences down in the comments, I'd definitely read them. Hopefully nothing like this happens again anytime soon, but if it does, rest assured I will tell you guys all about it. Right? Feel free to check out the Discord and Patreon. Feel free to subscribe to the channel for more Warframe content. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a good day.